Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to my YouTube. I feel like I haven't talked to y'all in a while. These YouTube videos have got kind of spread out because Renee and I have been pretty busy around here. If you see my background might have changed a little bit. We just moved into a new house. So that's taken a lot of time, and packing stuff up and moving it from the apartment to here, it's pretty time consuming. Glad we're finally here though. So if you're first time tuning in, I'm John Jewett. I'm an IFBB pro. Just taking you through now, which is just my off season, where I was doing a rebound phase after the Dallas Europa, and now it's just can't really call it rebound anymore. We're just into the off season, so it's I'll talk a little bit about what kind of constitutes that transition. But currently, about 8 weeks from when I was post show, so 8 weeks in the off season. Waking up right now, 244. That's what I've been floating around. I know you'll see in the video, like I stepped on like 246, but I was holding the camera, and the camera's like 2 pounds. So, but I've been pretty stable around that weight, and it's been about. I did 6 weeks of keeping supplementation in place post show. Okay. In the past 2 weeks, I've gone back down to like a baseline level of it. So the idea right now is just to hold my conditioning the best that I can. One thing I think I did well this rebound phase is not push calories so hard that by the end of it, I have accrued all this body fat. So looking over my posing and my pictures, that's a big thing for accountability. But I can see like I still have, of course, abs are very visible. Have all quad lines in. You can still see my serratus. I still have some glute lines there, which is all very, very good things for a conditioning spot for leading into the off season. I've done it in the past with these rebound phases, and I just pushed food way too hard. And you're blowing up, you're gaining like 5 pounds a week, and you feel super full, and you're like, gosh, I'm getting huge. And in reality, you're just putting on body fat just too quickly. So this off season that you need for months on end is gonna come to a bad point in just 6 to 8 weeks. But as of right now, just hold this conditioning the best I can. As far as putting size on these next few weeks, it'll be slow progress. I think it can still happen. Obviously, you don't have this supplementation advantage, and you also don't want to be continuing to increase food more when you don't have that advantage. So the idea is just trying to slowly build if possible. So keep the rate slower and really watch letting body composition and pictures dictate that. Current plan cardio-wise, I haven't changed. So I'm doing 5 days a week for 25 minutes. At the new house, I'm like 20 minutes from the muscle rate factory now, so it's not the closest commute that I was used to. Like I was seriously like 5 minutes from the gym before. By the time we get up and we head out the door, we get there, then we got to get all the way back. We end up fasting for a while. So Renee and I are going to get some spin bikes and probably a Stairmaster here at the house and make it a little bit more convenient for us. So today I just took out Storm, and she's like, I think she's like a little past 8 months now, so still a puppy phase. So I tried to speed walk around the neighborhood with her, which is like me walking past the driveway and then her like stopping in every yard to smell. She's not the best on the leash yet, so at least did some cardio, just like attempting to speed walk today. But yeah, normally we're gonna be getting some spin bikes here at the house and doing it that way. For the diet, so currently I haven't made drastic changes. I'm gonna put it up on my website what my current diet is, but I've been doing, I was close to 590 grams of carbs, about 300 grams of protein, and 75 grams of fat. And I had dropped back some carbs last week a little bit, just pulling out like an English muffin in the morning. Nothing too drastic. I was doing a muffin, and my pre-workout meal on my back days. That had been pulled out. And this past week with supplementation continuing to levels dropping off, I wanted to make sure I keep insulin sensitivity high and get the best nutrient partitioning possible. So I dropped carbohydrates down 50 grams and added in 20 grams of fat. And I did this in my last meal. So my last meals are now meal 5 and 6 are 25 grams of carbs. And in one meal I added in like about 50 grams of avocado, and the other meal got 20 grams of almond butter. So the idea is just, without giving such high amounts of carbohydrate and keeping blood glucose elevated as much, insulin won't be secreted as much, which will keep me a little bit more sensitive, but increasing fats to replace those calories. So I'm also trying to maintain weight as well. Now, I'm not going to just keep pushing to maintain weight regardless of my body composition, because with supplements down, there is a chance I will get a little softer. So if I need to bring calories down more, I will. But at least for now, they're holding well, and I'm maintaining my weight, and conditioning looks good. So that's what I'll just continue doing that. The main carbohydrates now are all centered around training. So my current diet's 480 grams of carbohydrates, 300 grams of protein, and fats are closer to 90 grams now, if I recall correctly. For weight training, I'm doing the same split that I've been doing over these past few weeks. You watch my other videos. It's pull, push, legs, with 3 of those being back days. So on my hamstring day, my leg day, I do have a couple back moves in there. So that's why it has I have 3 days. I did a push session today, and I don't think I've shown y'all one of these in a while. So, and I've talked about it moving into the off season and looking over my pictures and what I want to improve. The big things were lats, abs, and delts. So I structured this push day with regard to that, and moved some stuff around, like to where I normally would. Normally you almost always start with chest and go to shoulders, but I've done it differently these past several weeks, and I was starting just with an overhead press, but what I've even started with now is doing a side delt, a lateral move, and playing around with doing something high rep or even something heavier loading. So today we're doing a line cable lateral raise, and I really am fond of this movement. I first saw Jordan Peters doing it just with some, they're actually ankle straps, but just taking the hands out of it, and also the cable gives a very constant tension throughout, and you get good tension in the bottom of the movement, which is not typical if you're using like a dumbbells for your lateral raises. Usually you don't have any tension loading in the bottom position, and it's not to the very, very top. So the idea in whole bodybuilding is we're trying to get the peak, most tension throughout the full range of motion. So I think these do a very good job of it. Then also, you're able to really control the scapula and plan it into a bench. So you get a very controlled movement, so you can take some trap out of it as well and really focus on using your side delt. So I start here doing 3 sets and keep the reps really high. I just go to failure on 3 sets, and I'm shooting for 20 to 30 reps. So in the first one, I think I hit like 28 reps, and then they drop down the subsequent sets just from failure. And then once they're like fully blown up, my side delts and everything's like burning on fire, then I go on to my overhead press and do a compound lift, which today I did a pin loaded shoulder press, which I'm pretty damn near close to maxing the thing out. So I'll have to attach some bands, or I'm sure I'll just have to move on to just doing a barbell or something at that point. But for that one, it's kind of my normal scheme that I'm doing. It's do a failure set and fall between 8 to 10 reps, back down in weight, then hit another about 15 plus, so something very much higher in reps. And on all these press movements, I've really gone to just a more controlled movement for really prolonging the time under tension and prolonging the eccentric phase, because that's where a lot of the muscle damage actually happens, and it's a big stimulus of itself for hypertrophy. So in all these press movements, you'll see like the eccentric is at least a 3 count on the way down. Then on some movements I'll nearly pause and explode up. So after I move down from the shoulder press, I just start moving down the chest. So then I go next to an incline press. So still very shoulder heavy movement, but starting to involve some upper chest. Like doing the Smith machine, and putting an incline bench in there. And same rep scheme, just going up to like a hard set 8 to 10, backing down in weight, trying to hit like 15 plus reps. So just really working to get strong in different rep ranges. Moving on from there, go to a flat hammer strength press. And so we're just moving down the pec farther. Same principle here. And I'm taking a pretty wide grip, but I'm just trying to make sure that my elbow and my wrist stay in line and they're not getting too far into where I'm doing like a close grip press. And just going up again, set 8 to 10, and then backing down in weight for a set of 15 plus reps. After I do these compound moves on shoulders and chest, then I get back into doing some isolation work. So I've done a chest fly. I work on an incline bench, and I use these prime handles, which if you haven't used them, they're really nice and ergonomic. But I am setting up the incline bench, but my cables are moving in a way to where it's almost like a flat incline. And just a flat fly. Rather than putting the bench flat and lowering the cables down all the way, with the right settings, I don't have to lay down. That's basically all it comes down to. So I'll do that. I'll superset it right into dumbbell front raises on the incline bench, which I like. I like using them off the incline bench because you get the shoulder in a good stretch position, fully lengthened, and you get some pretty good tension out of the bottom, and you can come up to a good full range of motion. And I supinate the hands as I come up, and I don't bring the dumbbells in very, very close. I kind of keep them a little wider so it still should get a slight bit of lateral head activation in it. And I'll do 3 rounds of that, starting with like trying to hit 15 reps in that first set, and just let the reps drop down as I'm fatiguing throughout. From there, I'll go back to a shoulder movement. I'll do an upright row, and I'll do an just all out set, and then I will do it again, repeat that set, but I'll do a triple drop set, so something to really burn out the shoulders again, and just pump a bunch of blood in. And so did a lying cable upright row. Same thing as like my lying lateral raise. This is very strict movement, and I feel it's stricter in the sense that you can't swing with this like you can with the standing upright row. And the scapula, again, you can keep it very much retracted and depressed in place, and it's not going to be bring a lot of trap into it. So it's a great movement. It's been a staple for quite a while now. Then moving there I just wrapped up with triceps, and triceps, they just go on last because it is a stronger point, and arms seem to grow a little bit easier for me. So I just did a giant set. I did a rope push down, trying to fail between 15 and 20 reps, then go straight into an overhead rope tricep extension, and then going into a reverse grip push-up. So changing elbows positions and elbow height in relation to the torso in a few different planes there. Try to hit all heads of the tricep, lateral, medial, long head, which that combo, I think it does a good job of it. Just did 3 rounds there, and that blew out my triceps. They were done for the day. And that wrapped up my push day with the emphasis and shoulder training. So just so you know, like these push sessions, you can do a lot with them. I think you can go very far doing push-pull legs. And I know guys like, well, man, I need more arm training. Well, you can design a push session to have more arm training in it. Implement like maybe a close grip bench press as your first movement. Your first movement is usually what you can emphasize your weakest points on. So there's ways to do it, but I think really focusing on your compound moves first and trying to hit those frequently is what's going to put the most size on you in the shortest amount of time. And just having like an arm day with a lot of isolation work, it's not going to put a ton of mass on you. I think it's great for bringing up a physique that's already been well developed, but if you're not there yet, if you need like 20-30 pounds of stage weight, having an arm day is not going to accomplish that. So even for me, I haven't arms is a strong point, but I haven't gone to doing like just an arm day. All right, guys, wrapped up my 8-week off-season update for you guys. If you have any questions on this, please leave it in the description below. Any comments, I'll be happy to answer those questions for you guys. Also, check out my blog. I'll have my full diet posted up and also the workout posted up so you can see exactly what I'm doing over here. If you're interested in like coaching services, please check out the website. I have all my prices listed out, my services listed out. I coach all levels of competitors and divisions, and also non-competitors too. So I will talk to you guys next time, and see you then.